Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the LTL True Crime Podcast. It is Saturday night, December 9th, 2023, and we're about, almost 2 weeks away from Christmas. I cannot believe it's like 2 weeks away from Christmas, and then in 3 weeks, it's going to be 2024. And what an amazing, I would say about 9 months it's been here on the LTL True Crime Podcast. And I have not been able to do that without all of your support, going through all the cases that we cover here. I really do appreciate that. It's funny. I hit a little weird kind of milestone today in my sub count. And as you know, I always have like the big sub count over here. I love doing that. It shows drive. It shows achievement. It shows that you're going in the right direction. But I looked today, I haven't checked in maybe a couple of days, and I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the first and probably the last time that I'll ever see that. Pretty cool though. And I just thought that was fun. It's always a fun number when you can line like things up. But anyway, I digress on that. We're all here for a little Anthony Farah Timepiece Gentleman update. I will get directly into that. This stream is not going to be long, but what I want you to all do, if you are members here, the most important thing is to click on the link up above after this stream ends, or it will bring you through to the members only. I have a special announcement over there that I want to talk to everybody about. It's some big things here that are happening on LTL, and it's important for the members to be in there for that private chat. So we'll get through Anthony Farah, and then we're going to go over and do the members only, hang out a little bit over there, and I have some things to get into. Yes, tugs for hugs. Yes, hashtag tugs for hugs. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's just do this. I know you probably all know who Anthony Farah is, who Timepiece Gentleman is, but just to give some context as to maybe someone that may be watching the stream for the first time. So Anthony Farah is a secondhand, or was a secondhand gray market luxury watch dealer. He built, I wouldn't say an empire, but a small YouTube following. Well, not that small, over 100,000 subscribers, and through multiple channels, multiple businesses, and seemed like he at one point was going to be really successful. And we've talked about this, really successful on YouTube and marketing and whatever, but he always seemed to get in his own way with his own demons, his own addictions. And obviously now he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble with money. So anyway, Anthony was picked up just about a month ago on scamming alleged customers or alleged scamming customers out of $3 million. It's pretty much it's pretty much confirmed through everything that we've sourced here, but I'm not going to go in and read the article. I'll just read a little bit here. So this is from November 14th, I believe, from CNN, and we'll pull that up here. Actually, November 15th, which was about the last article that I could find. So it just said Anthony Farrah's lifestyle was as flashy as the luxury wristwatches he sold in Beverly Hills. His watch consignment business, the Timepiece gentleman, had a storefront on City's fabled Rodeo Drive. His red Lamborghini and his Ducati motorcycles sat outside his lavish rental in Santa Monica. He made frequent gambling trips to Las Vegas, where he spent tens of thousands of dollars. Farrah, 35, collected Patek Philippe's, Rolexes, and other pricey timepieces as he sold them to collectors. On a typical agreement with his clients, it netted him 5% commission on every sale, according to the federal criminal complaint attained by CNN. The business was thriving, so his clients thought. Farrah displayed watches worth up to $430,000 on social media, where his 300,000 followers on Instagram, and I question that because it probably wasn't all real, on his Instagram on YouTube, marveled at his haul. But it became crashing down when the FBI agents arrested him last week for allegedly scamming customers out of $3 million by selling their fancy watches and pocketing the proceeds. He faces charges of wire fraud and federal documents described as a luxury watch Ponzi-type scheme that occurred between late last year and this summer. So I just want to give a little background. I'm not going to read the rest of it because if you want to follow up on the complete details of this case, you can check out all my Anthony Farrah videos. But my friends, what we are here today is I have some legal news that's going to talk about Anthony here. I have some new legal documents that we will show. And I want to thank the source that sent this to me. So I do appreciate that. Thank you for emailing me late last night. And you've been a great source to the LTL podcast channel. I appreciate that. And what we're going to do is show those documents and go through it. So here we go. We have some new motions and some new court hearings and some procedures that happened in Anthony's case, and we can read through this here. So if you look here on, I don't know if this is large enough. Let's see. I hope everybody can see. So if you look here, 11/6/23, complaint filed as to the defendant, Anthony Farrah, in violation of 18 dash, oops, this is the only shitty thing about these when I show them. 18-1343 is wire fraud, approved by Magistrate Judge Joel A. Richland as to Anthony Farrah. It was entered on 11/8/2023. We go back here on 11/6, sealed government ex parte application for order sealing complaint, search warrants, and supporting affidavit, memorandum of points, and authorities, declaration of Joshua A. Massnier, and that was entered on 11/8/23. We go on to the 6th, another motion, order by Magistrate Judge Joel Richland, granting ex parte application, order sealing complaint, search warrants, and supporting affidavit. So essentially, all the information that has come into the case, they're putting on under seal. They don't want it out into the public until this is all brought through court and obviously looked over by, I don't know in feds, is there a grand jury in feds? Or does the FBI just flat out indict you if they have a criminal complaint? Maybe they just flat out indict you. I don't know how that works. Never looked into that. Maybe someone can tell me in the chat. Does a grand jury actually look at the indictment, you know, all the evidence, and then they indict? Or does the feds just walk in if it's federal and they're like, yeah, you fucked. We're going to take you in, bro. I don't know. Maybe Carrie knows that. I should know that. I don't really cover a lot of federal stuff, so this is all kind of new to me. All right, so on the 8th, reporting commencing criminal action as to defendant Anthony Farrah. Defendant's year birth is 1988. Date of arrest 11/7/23. Entered on 11/13/23. Same process as the state. All right, thank you. El Detective de Juan. And then Paula says, I think it could be secretly indicted or brought before a grand jury. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that. That's what I figured. That's what I think. I figured. Sam says, all joking aside, he had good thing going until he got greedy and got to his. I completely agree. And we've talked about that. This guy had all the right tools. I mean, he was marketable. People wanted to watch him. He said all the right things. He had the best laid plans to make this a very successful business. But his demons and everything that surrounded him, his addictions, got in the way of all that. Okay. So we go on to the 8th again. Notice of request to detention filed by, I hate this one. It's too big. Where am I? Request for detention by plaintiff USA as to defendant Anthony Farah. That was entered on 11/13/23. On 11/8/23, minutes of initial appearance on local complaint held before magistrate Judge Margot. I think that's Rocchino or Rocco. I don't know. I butcher people's last names. I'm sorry. As to defendant Anthony Farah, court issues order under federal criminal PF. These are all the legal language concerning prosecutor's disclosure. Let's see. Obligation. See order 21-02, written order. Defendant arraigned and advised of charges. Defendant states true name as charged. Anthony Erica Chow for Anthony Farah. Deputy Federal Public Defender present. So he has a public defender. He doesn't have a lawyer, an actual lawyer that he's paying for. Court orders defendant temporarily detained. Defendant remain in the custody of the U.S. Marshal. Post-indictment arraignment set for 12/14/23 at 11:30 a.m. And that was the video that I dropped the other day. Let's see. Sam says, all the videos are very well shot. Even Roman asked AF to help his grow his own channel. Absolutely. 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 Lone Star in the chat. Good to see you, bro. He says, it really does feel like things went south when he went to California. It's 1,000%, dude. It's 1,000%. Yep. He has a court-appointed attorney. Absolutely. So I think the piggy bank has run out. So we go into order of temporary detention pending hearing pursuant to Bail Reform Act by Magistrate Judge Margot. I'm not going to say her last name. I think it's Rocchioni. As defendant Anthony Farah, pending hearing, the defendant shall be held in custody by the U.S. Marshal. Let's see. And produced for a hearing. Detention hearing is set for 11/9/23 at 2 p.m. So then we go on to the 8th. Financial affidavit filed as to defendant Anthony Farah, not for public view, pursuant to E-Government Act of 2002. So that's interesting, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the sealing of the documents and potentially what just actually happened, which is actually going to be good here for LTL because you know what I'm going to do. But anyway, it says notice directing defendant to appear for preliminary hearing and arraignment on indictment information. Defendant Anthony Farah is direct to appear. Post-indictment arraignment on 12/14/23 at 11 a.m. before he'll go back in front of the duty magistrate judge. Then you got another motion on the 8th, advisement of statutory and constitutional rights filed by plaintiff USA as the defendant Anthony Farah, entered on 11/13/23. Waiver of preliminary examination or hearing by defendant Anthony Farah, entered 11/13/23. Man, they really stacked these in really quick. Minutes of detention hearing held before magistrate Margot as to defendant Anthony Farah. The court orders the defendant permanently detained. So he is in. So he possibly could have got out on bail. They said, no. Your crime is too big. They permanently detain him. Court grants the request from the government to unseal the case. That is the most important thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that after because we have new hope. And Carrie knows what I'm talking about. We have new hope. What the problem was when let me hold off. We'll get through this, and it's in my next slide. Then we go into here. Minutes of the chamber order by detention of Magistrate Margot as to defense Anthony Farah. That was entered on 11/9/23. And then obviously the last update here, terminated, merged, defendant, case of defendant Anthony Farah merged into CR. So they took the two separate cases, filed them all into one to make it a lot easier. All future filings should be made under this case number. Case number's there. Please advise that no further filing may be made under the first case number that they had. As such filing made after any entry of the notice may not be reviewed or considered by the court. So they had two separate files, banged them all together into one case file. Now you have a new case file number. So I hope everybody kind of followed that. So it's pretty exciting stuff, new updates here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my next slide here. So I showed this on a video the other day. Thank you again to my source that's been reaching out and giving me documents. I really do appreciate that. We did a 2-minute video on this the other day. Obviously, you can see up here, and we talked about it. Anthony will be next date in court is literally 4 or 5 days from now. He'll be due in court on Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to actually hear his indictment, his arraignment on the indictment. So that's really, really exciting stuff. I can't wait to see that, what all the formal charges will be, which is pretty cool. And then I want to go forward here. So remember my video when I did my FBI inquiry, when we did the FBI inquiry, the problem was my records request was on 11/7/23 and it got denied. But what happened? Let's go back and look. If you go back and look, let's see, where did I see it? Here, if I would have done that records request on the 9th or the 10th, we probably would have got them. It's because when I did the request on the 7th, they were still under seal. They weren't unsealed yet. So I already talked to Carrie. Carrie this week is going to put in the records request and see what we can get. And we'll get the full record, hopefully, because it's unsealed at this point. So it is public. And now we can start following along. We can get the indictment, see what's, if there's any new charges, since they put this all into one case. I'll be curious to see the new legal language in the full indictment, the new. So we talked about the records request, and then this was the seal here, order under seal. Let's see, it goes into, for good cause shown, it's hereby ordered that the complainant, but not the arrest warrant, search warrants, and supporting affidavit in the above title case, together with his ex parte application, the memorandum and points of authorities to the declaration of Joshua O. Massner, and the court sealing order be kept under seal until further order of the court. So that's all those records under seal. They wanted to look at it. Yes, it does cost money. Public records requests cost money. We're not sure what the cost is going to be, but I am paying to get this information. Obviously, you do these types of things to level up your channel. I mean, if I'm going to be a true crime channel, and the amount of hours and work that I put into this, and it's a passion of mine to do this. And if you really want to start getting ahead of the news, coming up with your own sourcing, this takes a lot of work to do this. I mean, Carrie's my assistant, and she essentially does this for free because she loves my vision of the channel, loves what I do here, but she spends hours a day on the phone building relationships with these clerks in these police departments and building relationships with people that handle these records. This sometimes is very tough information to get. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, how much work we do behind the scenes to do these. I think this is a 5-panel presentation that I put together tonight. Probably took me 2 hours. And some of the more elaborate ones, I'll be on my day, because every day I'm off, or every second I'm off from work, I work on this channel. When I do those 17, 18, 19 slide presentations, those take me like 6 hours to put together. You're cutting and pasting, and you're putting your information in there that you've sourced, people that you've talked to. It takes a lot of time. This is not a hobby. This is a passion of mine. I want to make this my full-time job by the end of 2024. I don't want to work for a corporate company anymore. I want LTL podcast or LTL media. I want this to be a fully fledged independent media channel. That is my vision. It's my passion. I want to do this for a living. By the end of 2024, I do not want to work for a corporate company. I want to work for myself. Sam, thank you so much for the $5. He says, I'm pitching in for the document fund. Thank you. Thank you so much. So again, this was under seal. We saw that seal, and it has been released. So we're going to do, and you can see this here. This is another petition. Was the court grants request from the government to unseal the case. So it is unsealed. Like I said, Carrie's going to work on a public records request hopefully in the next couple of days, so we can see what we can get back. It shouldn't take too much time because it's not sealed, and it should be pretty easy to get. And that's really it. I know a very, very quick stream, but I hope that this gave everybody some more updated info out there. I know everybody's kind of been clamoring at the legal stuff behind the scenes of what's going on. Again, I'm not sure if this has all been put out there in the ether. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm not claiming to be the first person to break all this news because I know that there's Reddit and stuff like that. So I'm sure this has all been talked about, but I wanted to get out there and give everybody an update. And if I am the first person that dropped it, cool. I think that's great. And it gives people more of a handle of what's going on the scenes with the legal aspects of it, because we know all about Tony's social life and what his YouTube was and what led him up to this. So I will continue to source legal documents here, legal information, give you updates on the legal side of it if I can get those. I have a really great source that's been helping me out, and I appreciate that. I know you're probably watching. So thank you for continuing to drop those little nugget of those legal documents for me to put out there. And I appreciate the permission that you've allowed me to do that. So again, a very, very short stream tonight. We're going to go over and do a members only now. If you are a member, and it's very, very important that you get into the next members only, because I have a special announcement that I want to announce to all of you, something big here that's happening on LTL, and I don't want you all to miss that. If you want to watch that, and I urge that you do, go up above. That link is up there. You can click on that. If you're not a member, you can go down and click the members join button down there and just join for $1.99. That'll get you into the members only chat, and that's going to happen here in a couple minutes. Again, not a super long stream. I didn't have much prepared, but that's really all I had. So I hope I see all the rest of you that are members over in the members only here in a couple minutes. And again, I just want to say this. I've been actually starting. It's kind of like a Patreon, but not really. It's actually better than Patreon in my personal opinion. If you want to support me, you can just click this link here. This is called Buy Me a Coffee. Or if you're watching on your laptop or desktop at home, I have a QR code up there. You can click on that. Direct donations go right through Buy Me a Coffee. It kind of takes them off YouTube and gives better income to the creators. Again, being very honest and open about this, I want to make this my full-time job. So obviously, I need to, we're going to get paid. We need to get paid here on LTL going forward to make this channel continue to grow, continue to happen, and continue to reach my goal of being a full-time creator. It's part of this. I don't ask for much. I may say it once during a stream. If you want to support me, that's fine, but I'm not going to beg. I will drop my link every now and then and ask. And that's about it. If you want to do it, I appreciate it. If you don't, no problem. The content will always be free here, only if we're not doing members only stuff. So I'm going to head over to the members only live. I hope that I see all of you over there in a couple of minutes. We'll get that kicked off. And again, I have a very special announcement that I want to talk to you all about, all my members about, and put that out there. So I'll see you all over there in a couple of minutes. Thank you for hanging out and watching this Anthony Ferris stream, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right, click the link above, head over to the members only. I'll see you there in a couple of minutes. All right, thank you so much. See you guys next time. I will be live. When is my next live? Next live is tomorrow night. I have a lot of updates, 4 different cases that I'll be covering tomorrow night. All right, I'll see you guys in the members only in a couple minutes.